Very good morning, everyone. Charles here again of FRGNT Daily Chart Analysis. The time has just ticked past 7 a.m. Tuesday, the 11th of November 2025. And here we are pre-London Open, just forecasting for the day ahead. And we'll begin on AUDUSD. We've already marked up the DXY. However, in terms of charts, of which I'll be looking to trade today, AUDUSD is potentially shaping up for another potential short, as we took this position yesterday, anticipating that rejection from that 4-hour 50 EMA where price is still rejecting. So what do we have in the here and now? So we can still see that price is in and around a higher time frame point of interest, be it that daily 50 EMA area. Still hovering around that 4-hour order block as well that we can see here to the bottom left hand chart, and we've managed to isolate another 4-hour order block that has been provided for us. Now we will look to manipulate that area. Now looking up into the top left hand chart, no real point of interest in terms of 1 hour, but nevertheless to the 15-minute, what we can see, again, no point of interest left behind. However, we've scaled down to the 5-minute. We've managed to identify a 5-minute order block there at the highs. Perfect, as we always like to sell at the highs, protecting ourselves for any manipulation that could occur, just ticking into that daily 50 EMA before continued rejection. So what I'd like to see going into London or perhaps into New York is the next 4-hour candle close bearish below that 4-hour 50 EMA. That will give us the change in sentiment and the shift in bias that price is able to in fact break below that 4-hour 50 EMA. Once that then occurs, we'll then be looking for price to come back up into these areas, give us that lower time break of structure. Perhaps we can isolate an area on the 5-minute like yesterday. That price will then break, pull down below, pull back into another valid POI left at the top, we hope is left behind from this area, and then look to take that short down. Since price would then have closed below that 4-hour 50 EMA, we could then be looking for higher targets in terms of course, we could still look to manage the position towards that 4-hour 50 EMA. But once that 4-hour candle closes below, my next target would be then to target that weekly 50 EMA for the anticipated rejection, for potential, as we see here, higher high, looking for that higher low before a higher high created on that 4-hour time frame. So that's my bias going into London and New York today on AUDUSD. Just a quick run through again. So higher time frame point of interest, specifically using that daily 50 EMA. We've isolated in and around that area 4-hour order block just here on that 4-hour time frame. Again, we are mindful of structure, knowing that price is in a bullish ascent at this time, making that higher high, breaking that previous high. So price is searching for that higher low before potential continuation. So we're happy to trade that higher low position before then anticipating that higher high, taking our profits before that occurs. As I say, nothing particular on that 1-hour time frame. Again, if we are to look to isolate some areas, then of course we could put a standard line there in terms of structure, but that would align with the fact we want that 4-hour 50 EMA to be broken in an ideal world before then looking to take that short position from the highs. Alternatively, if we do not get that 4-hour 50 EMA, then of course my entry would have to be slightly different in terms of we don't have that guarantee just yet. So I'll be looking for those mid-range breaks of structure, specifically that 15-minute time frame. So in an ideal scenario, if we do get a bearish 15-minute candle like so, leaving us a wick to the highs, then I'll be looking again like yesterday to isolate that wick high, look for that lower time break of structure from that area, break potentially the lows of that 15-minute candle, pull back again into imbalance before then taking the short. So we've got two scenarios there that I'm happy to take in both positions. I hope that helps in terms of your trading going into London and New York today. Also, we can see we've got some majors that need to be filled. will of course be on our side in terms of additional confluence going into that position. Thank you very much for listening. That's Charles of FRGNT Daily Chart Analysis. Do take care.